You know what, Jordan? I'm really bored. How about you?
Can't talk. Thanks.
You know, maybe if like some supervillain were to come around and maybe terrorize me a little bit. That'd be pretty nice. Wait a minute, I'm getting a call on Skype. I wonder who it is.
I have a big gun, and I will kill everyone on this world.
Okay, and?
And Donald Trump will be the first to go!
No, not Donald Trump. He's only 5 years old. What do you want me to do to only save him? Ow!
So what you're saying is that you don't care for anyone in the world except for Donald Trump?
Yep.
Not even Thomas?
Nope.
Hey, come on, man.
Thomas, get out of here. This is me and Retro's crossover.
You know what? Just fine. Just make a top 5 video about your top 5 favorite Star Pokemon and upload it to your YouTube channel. Got it?
Wow, this really seems like a cheap plot point for you and me to do a crossover on each other's channels simultaneously.
Hey, what about me?
No. Bad Thomas.
What? This is not a game or a frickin' video.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, if this was in real life, would you have time to kill over 7 billion people, including the god Donald Trump? Exactly, but whatever. I'll get started. No! Bad Thomas. Hey guys, JohnCop7 here today. The guy who always wears a Superman shirt and probably just saw Batman vs. Superman, even though this is recorded in the past and that's in the future. But whatever, I'm sure it's probably terrible. I am being forced to do a Pokemon episode. I like Pokemon though, and it's a pretty good franchise, you know? It's pretty good.
While not my first Generation 6 Pokemon when I went to replay Y for a second time, I wanted something different, something new. So I chose Chespin as I started this time around, and it was great. I loved all his moves, his designs, his first and third designs, and even just how freaking adorable he is.
So gosh dang tiny, look at him!
He's an all-around great Pokemon and one of my favorites as a whole. Another grass type, whoop-de-freaking-doo. Twig is just one of those Pokemon that stick out to me. After going back to Gen 4, none of the Pokemon there were really appealing to me. Piplup looked dumb, and fire types are just not my thing most of the time. So, Twig it was. He has great typing at grass and ground, and certainly I love his design so much. The little sprout on his back just keeps growing larger and larger as it evolves, which is a nice little touch. Overall, a great Pokemon that was one of my favorites going back to Gen 4. Oh my god, I love you, Squirtle, so much. Squirtle is what you would call the first Pokemon I ever received, but not technically. It was a few years ago. I played Pixelmon in Minecraft with my friend RetroRemedies, and the first Pokemon I ever laid my eyes on was Squirtle. Even though he was in blocking form, he was still so freaking adorable. After all that, he still comes out as one of my favorites. It's a cute little design at first, but then becomes that really, really freaking cool design. It's a freaking tortoise on steroids. How could you not love it? I also just really adore the water type that he has. This little guy right here is the one that introduced me to Pokemon once and for all. I gotta say, I feel the Gen 2 remakes might be one of my favorites. They look and sound great and have great starters. Totodile is cool. Chikorita is just so freaking adorable. And my second favorite, Cyndaquil, is just a mix of the two of them, and it is just freaking amazing. I especially just love the designs of Quilava, and that is my favorite evolutionary stage for him. I also really adore his moveset and his type too. Now, I'm no competitive Pokemoner, but I gotta say he's got some really great moves. It can know Eruption, Double Edge, which can do wonders for my team at all times. He's just great and all around an awesome Pokemon. I've said awesome way too many times in this. You all knew who it was from my intro and the fact that he's on my shelf in most of my videos. Not just my favorite starter, but my all-time favorite Pokemon. And his name is JohnCop7!
Nah, just kidding. It's Oshawott.
Why is Oshawott my favorite, you might be asking yourself? He was the first Pokemon in a main series game that I ever had to myself. His design goes from adorable to cool to heck yeah! Also, my favorite type is the water type, so that is a really big plus. I also loved him in the anime too. He was always the comic relief in many situations, and sometimes it made an episode for me. And that is why Oshawott is my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Hey, this is a part 1 to part 2. Make sure you go watch part 2. Also, don't forget to kiss that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.